Have you ever wondered what it takes to become a master in your field? This isn't a question that has a single, universal answer. But perhaps we can gain some insight from the legendary samurai, Miyamoto Musashi. He wasn't just a warrior. He was a philosopher, a strategist, and a master of self-discipline. His greatness wasn't simply handed to him. It was cultivated through a rigorous practice of self-discipline, a path that required both mental and physical fortitude. In this video, we'll be exploring the teachings of Musashi, unraveling his principles of superior self-discipline, and discussing how we can apply these principles in our daily lives. From acceptance of the uncertainties that life throws our way to the management of separation and avoidance of jealousy. These principles are as timeless as they are profound. So, are you ready to learn from the wisdom of a samurai and apply it to your own life? Stay tuned as we dive into the principles of Musashi's teachings. First off, Musashi's teachings tell us to embrace acceptance. Picture the life of a samurai, rife with uncertainties. One day you could be in battle, the next in peaceful solitude, and Musashi was no stranger to this unpredictable existence. But here's the twist. Rather than resisting this uncertainty, he saw it as a form of discipline. He embraced it, he accepted it. And this, my friends, is our first principle. Now you might be wondering, how does this apply to us? Well, just like a samurai, our lives are full of uncertainties too. The sudden rain that ruins your picnic plans, the unexpected traffic that makes you late for work, the surprise question in a job interview. These are our battles. And how we react to these unexpected events, that's our discipline. Musashi didn't see acceptance as passivity, far from it. Acceptance for him was an active choice, a conscious decision to control what he could and let go of what he couldn't. It was about acknowledging reality and then figuring out how to navigate it. So how can we use this principle in our daily lives? Well, instead of spiraling into frustration when things don't go our way, we can choose to focus on finding solutions. We can choose to accept the situation and then actively work towards changing it. This doesn't mean that we accept everything without question. It simply means that we recognize our current reality and then decide on the best course of action. Acceptance is not about giving up. It's about taking control. It's about saying, okay, this is what's happening. Now what can I do about it? It's about turning obstacles into opportunities and frustrations into fuel for action. In the end, acceptance is not just about enduring life's uncertainties, but about using them to grow. It's about realizing that every unexpected event, every surprise, every challenge is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to become stronger. So, the next time life throws a curveball your way, remember Musashi. Remember the samurai who embraced uncertainty, who turned obstacles into opportunities, who found discipline in acceptance. In accepting, we find strength. Our next principle insists on not dwelling on regret. Regret is a foggy specter that clouds our minds, blurring our focus and hindering our self-discipline. It's a mental mire drawing us into a never-ending cycle of what-ifs and if-onlys. However, it's important to understand the difference between regret and guilt. Guilt can serve as a moral compass, signaling when we've crossed an ethical line. It can prompt us to make amends, to reconcile, and to grow. Regret, on the other hand, serves no such purpose. It's a self-imposed punishment that offers no redemption, only remorse. The key, as Musashi teaches, is not to dwell on our mistakes, but to learn from them. Mistakes are the stepping stones to wisdom. They're not anchors to hold us back, but propellers to push us forward. So the next time you feel the shadow of regret looming, remember, it's okay to look back, but never stare. Learn, don't lament. Now let's talk about the importance of inner strength over location. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, held a conviction that inner discipline was of far greater importance than location. He firmly believed that his inner strength was his true compass, guiding him through life's battles and challenges. This perspective challenges a common notion that a change of scenery is a magical solution to our problems. We often think that if we could just get away, start afresh somewhere new, all our troubles would disappear. But Musashi's philosophy urges us to think otherwise. He teaches us that it's not about where we are, but who we are, that truly matters. Our mindset, our attitudes, and how we engage with life are what shape our experiences. It's about cultivating inner strength and resilience, about harnessing the power of our minds to navigate through life's ups and downs. So remember, the key to true happiness and fulfillment lies within us, not in our surroundings. Your mindset, not your location, determines your happiness. Musashi teaches us to master one thing at a time. In our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with new options, opportunities, and distractions. This barrage of stimuli often leads to what's known as the shiny object syndrome, where we flit from one shiny new thing to another, never truly mastering anything. Now let's look at Musashi. His life was a testament to the power of focused mastery. He dedicated his life to the art of swordsmanship, honing his skills day in and day out to become one of the most feared and respected samurais of his time. But does this mean that Musashi was a one-trick pony? Absolutely not. Musashi was a master swordsman, yes, but he was also an accomplished painter, a writer, and a philosopher. So, what's the catch? How could he master so many skills? The secret lies in his approach. Musashi believed in the power of focused learning. He would dedicate his full attention, his entire being, to mastering one skill at a time. Once he had mastered one skill, he'd move on to the next. This principle doesn't mean limiting oneself to one pursuit. Rather, it encourages us to pour our full attention, our whole heart, into mastering one thing at a time. It's about cultivating a deep, unshakable discipline that allows us to focus on a single task, to shut out distractions, and to dedicate ourselves fully to the task at hand. In applying this principle to our own lives, we can learn to resist the lure of the shiny object syndrome. By focusing on mastering one skill at a time, we can achieve a deeper understanding and proficiency in that skill. And the beauty of it is, this focused learning makes it easier for us to learn and master other skills. So, the next time you find yourself jumping from one task to another, remember Musashi. Remember the power of focused learning. Remember the value of mastering one thing at a time. Focused learning leads to easy mastering. Finally, let's explore managing separation and avoiding jealousy. Separation, in its many forms, is an integral part of life. We all experience the parting of ways, whether it be losing a loved one, moving to a new place, or simply embarking on different paths from those around us. Musashi, in his infinite wisdom, teaches us to acknowledge the sadness that accompanies these moments of separation. But crucially, he implores us not to let this sadness deter us from our goals. This principle of managing separation extends beyond human relationships. It applies to our relationships with material possessions as well. In our modern world, we often find ourselves entangled in the web of materialism, allowing our possessions to control us emotionally. Musashi's teachings urge us to practice detachment, to liberate ourselves from the emotional clutches of objects. He reminds us that when we manage separation effectively, we become the masters of our own emotional states. Now let's turn our attention to the topic of jealousy. Musashi, relentlessly focused on self-improvement, knew that jealousy was nothing more than a distraction. It is a destructive force that pulls us away from our own path and goals. Imagine the energy we waste, the time we squander when we allow ourselves to be consumed by jealousy. In the age of social media, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives with others and nurturing the seeds of jealousy. But maintaining discipline in this digital era requires a firm commitment to avoid these distractions. Instead, we should channel our energy into focusing on our own self-improvement. So remember, manage separation and avoid jealousy. These principles, though challenging, can guide us towards a life of superior self-discipline. Stay focused on your path and let nothing deter you. In conclusion, becoming the greatest samurai in your field is within your reach. By embracing the wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi, we can all cultivate superior self-discipline, acceptance of life's uncertainties, freeing ourselves from the weight of regret, and finding strength within rather than in our surroundings are the foundations of this discipline. Moreover, mastering one thing at a time and managing separation from people, places, and possessions with grace will further fortify our inner resolve. Lastly, by avoiding the pitfall of jealousy, we keep our focus where it belongs, on our own path and goals. In the realm of self-improvement, it's not about becoming someone else but becoming the best version of ourselves. And that's a journey worth embarking on. So if this video resonated with you, do consider subscribing for more insights like these. Share it with those who might benefit, and don't forget to leave your thoughts below. Thank you for watching. Remember, your path to self-discipline begins now.